Donald Trump says he has a new opponent in the race for the White House.
I'm not running against crooked Hillary Clinton. I'm running against the crooked media.
He says, as he points out at all the cameras, that after the mainstream media generally overlooked this comment.
The FBI director said when he testified before Congress, he had to amend his previous day's statement that she had never received any emails marked classified. They saw two little notes with a C on it. This is the biggest load of bull I ever heard.
So does Trump have a point? Here for a fair and balanced debate, Brad Woodhouse, the president of Correct the Record, and his brother, Dallas Woodhouse, the executive director of the North Carolina Republican Party. Brothers, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Dallas, let's start with you. Why did the mainstream media, for the most part, not even cover the Bill's bull comment?
Well, a couple of things. I think that, number one, the media and, to some degree, the American public has accepted that the Clintons don't tell the truth, and they didn't tell the truth, and that this issue of the emails and how she destroyed public records has been settled. I mean, she wasn't arrested and put on trial, but she was indicted by the FBI director. And the real danger here is people know she lies to the American people, and they're either going to accept it or they're not. But what's really scary is the Clintons lie to themselves. I mean, she looked like, as I've said before, Baghdad Bob denying what Comey said to Chris Wallace. And now Baghdad Bob's gotten married, and Bill Clinton is just denying things that everybody saw as plain as day.
Brad, your brother makes a good point. There is a large majority of the country that does not trust her when it comes to whether or not she's honest.
Well, look, Steve, Dallas has never made a good point, but let me just pick it up from there. I mean,
some brother you are.
Well, some brother I am. I mean, look, with respect to this one measure of trustworthiness, you see probably in every poll that comes out, the American people increasingly trust Hillary Clinton, partly because, look, they're looking at the dumpster fire that is the Donald Trump campaign.
When you start at zero, it's not hard to go up a little bit.
Dallas, look, if you want to sit here and talk about your candidate and you want to sit here and suggest to me that he's never made a mistake or never lied, he's got worse numbers in the polls than she does on trustworthiness. She's got worse numbers in the poll on approval. And by the way, he's losing in every battleground state, including North Carolina. Dallas, you're the executive director of the North Carolina Republican Party, and he's down by 10 points in North Carolina. You tell me, is that because the American public or the North Carolinians trust Donald Trump? Obviously, they don't, Dallas.
Well, I mean, I do think that Donald Trump needs to get on the message and go after Hillary Clinton every day about how she lies and how she has basically, with these emails that came out this week, show that she was just willing to sell American safety and security or change American policy for whatever came to the Clinton Foundation.
What are you talking about? What emails involving her? What emails? What emails? What emails? There's no emails involving her.
Look, here's what we know.
You're making it up.
Here's what we know.
You're making it up. One at a time.
Here's what we know.
One at a time.
Here is what we know, that the whole reason she did not want her emails public the whole time, the whole reason the server was set up was to keep their dirty business of the Clinton Foundation secret.
What dirty business? What dirty business, Dallas? What dirty business?
Well,
I got a feeling you two brothers are not going to agree on this. So, Brad, let me go into something else we want to talk about.
There were a number of dirty deals there.
Okay.
Don't interrupt Steve, Dallas.
It's okay, your brother, but the moderator, please. Brad, you know, you were talking about the polls and stuff like that Trump is now down in, but you've got to look at when you look at the mainstream media coverage, it does look like they are in her corner rather than his. And that's, I think, one of the reasons he's picked a fight with the New York Times yesterday. He was talking about, hey, they made up a story again where he called the report fiction and tweets and stuff like that. But the mainstream media, for the most part, and you would admit this, leans to the left, is going to help her out.
Well, look, Steve, I know you lean to the left, but I'm not sure about the rest of the mainstream media. No, I'm just kidding. No, look here.
That is just wrong.
Steve, I think
I didn't hear it. The producer was talking to me.
still, Steve, I think the issue here is Donald Trump has run a campaign where he has wanted the media to come out and cover his rallies and cover what he says.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that you've seen recently is they've covered what he says. They covered his attacks on a Gold Star family. They covered, they covered his Second Amendment comments. They covered his comments about hacking into her, Russians hacking into her
Right, but they
emails.
don't seem to cover her comments the same way they cover his, with, wall-to-wall coverage.
Well, look, I don't think she's saying something stupid every time she steps on stage. I mean, her rallies are fairly scripted. She delivers a very crisp message, and he goes off on tangents.
Yeah, she's very boring. Who wants to listen to her? My Lord, if we have to listen to that. And by the way, Steve, I don't believe you lean left, and I'll climb up to the nearest water tower and paint it to defend your honor.
All right. The Woodhouse
That's how we
brothers
do it now.
joining us on this Monday morning. Dallas and Brad, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your mother must be a saint. We actually know your mother, and she is a saint.